Hey, I'm RENTON MILLAR. I'm World Skate Head Judge for Park Skating. This is the recap video for the World Skate World Cup in Rome 2026. So just to note first, the scores that we give to create a rank order evaluation. The numbers really are just a tool to get the ranking. So we always tell the skaters and the coaches to look at the rankings and not the scores. So at this event we had a big field. In men we had almost 100 skaters. We have 100 points. So to fit 100 skaters in 100 points, we need to spread the scores. As a result, some people may get lower scores than what they expect. We would say don't feel offended. This is the highest skating level in the world, and the score really is just a tool to get the ranking. Women's semi-finals, Rome 2026. In 16th place from China, we had Han Xiangsheng from China. So she got a 43.08, I think her first world skate competition of this level. She skated really well up until this round. She has a good style. She started her run with the backside Smith over the bridge, which is a trick that the judges valued quite a lot as far as fundamental tricks over the bridge goes. Backside Smith is a fairly advanced trick. Nose grind in the deep corner, also a trick that the judges valued. She has a very smooth style, but unfortunately she bailed with 13 seconds remaining, so she got a 43.08. '15th place, we had Lily Erickson from the USA. So she bailed with 20 seconds remaining. Didn't make a run. I think anyone that skates at this level understands that you really got to make a run to advance or to get a good score. Her hip kickflip Indy was good, but we really just need a made run to succeed at this level. So 50.83 from Lily Erickson.
Every mile back into the kickflip Indy. She's got it's a bit of a pro and con being this tall because it looks great. You have a lot of room to move. But she took out the
up for an L twist.
But the being tall, you're forced to.
So in 14th place, we had Masugu Okamoto from Japan. So welcome back to Masugu. Great to see her skating. For those that didn't know, she dominated the first Olympic season of qualifying, and then in the Olympics, she skated really well, but just missed getting a medal. So Masugu's a bit of a class act. Very advanced in the way of execution and her approach to skateboarding. All of her tricks are done well. She has good use of the park, and she has a fairly good variety of tricks. As a skater, she really dominated women's skateboarding in the first phase of the Olympics, and I think it still shows that she just has a deep level of skill and understanding of what you need to do on a skateboard to succeed in competitions. My reflection was, I think that there was a little bit of a lack of going really big or grinding really far for someone that skates the way that she does. When you have more basic tricks, generally speaking, the people that do the basic tricks as their key parts of their run, they do execute them a bit higher or a bit longer. This is Masugu's first competition back, so I suppose you can't expect everything. Mute 540 was also a good touch. As I've said in the past, if your main point in your run that's positive is a 540, it's not going to get you that far. But if you mix it with good use of the park, good execution, like Masugu, it's a great trick to have in your run. So Masugu is a great skater. It was a solid performance, and I dare say that she will come back stronger. Thirteenth place from the USA, we had Joey Yarborough, 75.85. So a great run. I think that's the first time her making the semis. Congrats, Joey. Some really good stuff in there. I do think, though, for her to go further with that same bag of tricks, the judges really would like to see a bit better execution. I think the frontside 50-50 to fakie over the bridge was a good trick, but coming in, it didn't really come in on the back truck, which is probably the optimum way to do that trick. Still a good trick. Also, the 360 Hurricane in the deep end, we know it was a 360 Hurricane because that's what she did in the previous round. But in this one, the Hurricane truck, the truck wasn't on, so it was just a 360 rock and roll, which is substantially less good than a 360 Hurricane. And then straight after that, there was another fakie that was really fairly low. So just to note, judges really want to see execution, even on really hard tricks. I also think that there's certain tricks that you can tone down and just to land, so you can have them so for the majority of the time you're executing well, and then if you back off on the execution, it's not going to mean that you fall off, it's just going to mean that you don't make it in such a good way, and it can come off a little bit sloppy. I feel like that was kind of a little bit of that in the 360 Hurricane falling into the 360 Rock. So not optimum. Still a really good run. The cab in there was really good. She has really good cab aerials. Kickflip Indy was really good, and for Joey, the good news was the 540 that she bailed was after time, so no penalisation for that fall. In 12th place, we had Rui Sugawara from Japan, 77.7. So the judges really thought Rui's execution was top-notch. A good run. Unfortunately, she didn't get the cab disaster in there, which I think that's what her ultimate goal was, which would have put her up, of course. Fakie rewind to fakie, like fakie frontside grind to fakie, that was good. The line into that was original, the way the line she took into that trick. Backside Smith over the bridge is an example of how well you can do a basic trick, how well that can score. A really good basic done really well on a key obstacle like that backside Smith. Backside Smith done absolutely beautifully, and I think that brought a lot to her run. The judges were really impressed with not just the fact that she did a backside Smith. I think everyone that did a backside Smith on that obstacle was rewarded, but particularly Rui's was really, really good, and that really imprinted on the judges. So she has a good style. I think to mention it, she was ahead of Joey just really based on Rui's execution versus Joey's execution being not as good. This is the highest level of skating, so judges really want to see the highest level of execution. In 11th place, we had Sakura Yosizumi from Japan. So Sakura's run was really good. It was really a lot of difficult tricks like big spin backside disaster, heel flip Indy, good use of park, good execution. There's no lip trick over the bridge. But I think at the level where you're doing these other really hard tricks like the big spin, the heel flip Indy, and just really using the park really well with a good style, all that, I don't think the judge is necessarily going to hold that against her. It was just something that we noticed. I think for her to be in 11th place, I think really the explanation is really it's just very competitive. I think this group of skaters, this group of 5 or 6 skaters in this cluster of skaters all skated really, really well. I think it was really, really close between Sakura, Yi Fan Lin, Hikari, Hiker, and Naya. I think that group of skaters was very, very close. So above Sakura, we had Yi Fan Lin from Chinese Taipei. She skated really, really well. She is coming up very, very fast, and she's bringing a lot of very sophisticated tricks. I think as she gains more power, she's going to get a lot more traction in going further in the competition. I think regardless, she's on her way up. There's really good tricks done fairly well. She's still gaining maturity. The maturity is really what is going to take her from what she's doing now to the next level. And when I say that, say for example, when she did the frontside 50-50, just the execution of that was probably not quite of the same level as the highest level of skaters. Say when we look at the highest level of skaters in this phase, we look at Sky Brown and Mizuho and those type of skaters. All of their basics are done really, really well. Yi Fan Lin has really good difficult tricks, but I suppose she's just developing and maturing as a skater just across her whole execution and just whole approach, just gaining power. And she's a young girl and she's going to get better and better. Just tricks like the McTwist, Sugarcane, frontside blunt, put all together in one run. I think it is really, it's a real standout, and I think she is going to be one to watch in the future. Ninth place, Hikari Satake from Japan. Really big on flow and execution. So flow is a criteria the judges are looking for. That's just how well you get around the park, just how fluent you are, how well you link it together. And Hikari does that really, really well. It's just stuff like her frontside stalefish and the height of her melon 540. It was really the execution that got her to the place where she is. As I said, this group of skaters is all really, really close. But I think Hikari's big positives is basically just her execution and flow.
You know, I'm seeing a very high contender this week in this girl right here. From 540s and lean to tails and great style. Some people just land tricks.
In 8th place, Heike Ventura from Brazil. So Heike has so much power and just has great skateboarding, a great mix of tricks, airs, lip tricks, a lot of power. She goes big. She has a really nice Indy air, really nice Japan air. These are tricks that not everybody are doing, and not everybody are doing well. Frontside nose blunt from the transition up to the bank. That's also a very good lip trick. And I think that was just made it clear that she was ahead of the girls behind her. But I think, as I said, this cluster was fairly close.
There's a really tight carve on the volcano and gives her the ability to get back round to that hip.
I'm really curious to see where this ends up, because it didn't.
7th place, Naya Lasso from Spain. Had a really well put together run. Backside Smith over the bridge was great, as was the ollie up to backside blunt, the kickflip Indy. She has a nice line and some good power, good style, and a well put together run. Nice one, Naya.
Judges one and kind of knows what tricks they want to see from her specifically.
Really great trick selection all the way through. It's just a matter of staying on.
And that 5-0 to fakie through the corner is definitely one of those tricks from Feeble in the deep end.
She's got no room to chill. We got to finish with something nice and strong here.
Right on the buzzer, very well timed run. That kickflip Indy, you're on your feet, Nikki.
I'm just so proud of her.
So 6th place we had Hailey Servio from Finland. So Hailey, I think this run seemed to be fairly well thought out, fairly well composed. The way that she used the lines between the extension, just the placement of the tricks in her run, it was all fairly well put together, and it was kind of bookended quite well with a McTwist at the start, fakie 5 at the end, so 2 banging tricks at the start and the finish with good use of the park throughout the whole run. Fairly good execution, I guess at a certain point I lost a bit of power, but at the same time it was a fairly good run and it was well put together. So I think it was a great run, well done, and yeah, the good one from Hailey Servio. Fifth place, Hinano Kosaki from Japan. Great skating. So Hinano seems to do a little bit less tricks than the other skaters, but with Hinano it's really quality over quantity. She has great execution, great use of the park. With Hinano, it's not necessarily what she does, but how she does it. She has a lot of flow, and all the tricks are done very well. Board slide around the corner, melon 540, always really big, always good to watch, and just generally good skating, well presented, well composed, very good. Yeah, good run from Hinano.
Cheeky little frontside grind on the spine. It's all about getting back into that deep end. We're seeing 3 hits in the deep end from nearly every rider so far. Alley-oop.
4th place, Arissa True from Australia. So Arissa, she's getting much better at the use of the park. Backside tail slide line around the corner from the frontside 50-50 over the hip was really good. She's got a lot of really difficult tricks, like that's kind of her specialty, and it just seems that like she's been working on the use of the park and how it all links together. And I think when we're watching Arissa at the moment, she seems to be getting better at the stuff that she traditionally hasn't excelled at, and the other stuff that she's very good at, stuff like the McTwists and the difficult tricks, she's obviously still got that. But mixing them together and getting better at the use of the park is it's good to see. I think she's still developing, still improving, and I think that's really important because we don't just judge people on the difficulty of tricks. It's also the use of the park, the variety of tricks, the consistency, the execution, and the flow. So it's not just the difficulty of tricks, like some of the younger skaters just go for the most difficult tricks they can, but you also have to have all those other things. And so it's pretty cool to see Arissa working on those other sides of the criteria. 3rd place, Kokona Hiraki from Japan. So I feel like at this stage we're starting to see like quite a few girls with really good styles, and Kokona was one of the original girls that really had a good flowy style. And when I say style, that really, to translate that into the language of the criteria, it's really the execution and the flow, and I think in there as well there's a little bit of the use of the park. So Kokona really has all of those things, and one thing that she seems to always have is a run that is composed well. It's well thought out. It never repeats tricks. It always has just linked together with a variety of tricks, done well with difficult tricks, quite a lot through it, so it's got the consistency. I think if you look at it across the criteria, it is really strong in each of the criteria, which means that she ends up getting really good results a lot of the time. And I think this event, I think she skated really, really well. So as soon as Kokona begins skating, you can just see the flow, the execution, and I think as a judge that really puts her into consideration for a good score immediately. At this event she went straight into really difficult stuff. She didn't muck around with a safety dance. It was basically the backside nose grind, which is done so well into the backside tail slide, which is quite an advanced trick, into a backside flip on the vert. So she's mixing up 3 obstacles with 3 really, really hard tricks that, you know, you would say on those 3 tricks, she's doing it as good as anyone in the competition. She's linking them together, and then after it, she's doing a whole bunch of other stuff on different obstacles and linking that together really, really well. Kokona really has the recipe for success, I think, with this, and it's it's great to watch. Second place, Mizuho Hasegawa from Japan. So Mizuho's run is tough. I think she skates tougher than any of the other girls. I mean, that's not in the criteria. I think that comes under execution, use of the park, and flow. I mean, foot to the floor, accelerator on, go as fast as you can, go as big as you can, and just try and link together the most difficult tricks. It really is as I said with Kokona, she has a really good recipe for succeeding, and I think Mizuho has a very, very similar recipe, and that's just to tick all the criteria, go as hard as she can. I think she pushes harder than anyone else, like her airs seem to be higher. Judo 540 on concrete is a really, really tough trick. There's a whole heap of pain you're going to feel if you make a mistake on that one, and she's the only girl that's sort of doing like I think from memory 540 variations like that. Like, I mean, maybe we see Arisa do body varial 5s occasionally, but the Judo 5 I think is pretty tough, and she's going as big as she can. Stalefish in the corner was also really good. That's really tough trick. Like, it sets you up for your line. You have to give it a bit of gas to keep your speed on it, and if you do it right, it gets you around the park really, really well. So it's not only just doing a trick for the trick's sake, but it's also a bit of a utility for making your line work, and it's something that's original that other people aren't doing, and it's difficult as well. Backside tail slide into the deep, also really, really good. Whole run was really planned well. I don't know if it's the Japanese coaches or these girls that are helping plan their runs, but whoever's doing it, if it's Kokona that's doing it, or if it's Mizuho that is doing it, or it's the coach, whoever's doing it is doing a good job, because their runs are planned very, very well. Mizuho ending with the half cab, I think it's half cab melon, gone backwards. That gives her run another aspect to it. And all up a great run, 87.74. Well done, Mizuho. Okay, so first place qualifier we had from Great Britain, we had Sky Brown. So a very well polished run. So her filler tricks get a lot of credit from the judges. And when I say filler tricks, I don't mean like you got your killer tricks, which is your hardcore bangers, and then you got your filler tricks, which are in between them. And the cool thing about Sky is her filler tricks are also really, really good. Like backside Smith, just done so well. And I think when you have these skaters at the highest level, it's like every part of their run is really good to watch. And it, like, even their easy stuff is fulfilling part of the criteria. You know, like you've got like a backside Smith, which is just showing her execution and flow and use of the park, and that's just the part between the bangers. It's not, those tricks aren't comp winners, but they are things that are gonna help you get to the top or win a comp for sure if you complement it with other more that filler is going to help you win if you've got the right killer stuff. You know, if you mix the killer and the filler, then it really that's gonna be good. Kickflip India over the volcano was really good. Sky has difficult tricks, she has good use of the park, she has consistency all through her run, she has flow and good execution. To watch her is great. She's ticking all the boxes, and it really is just a well-refined run. And I think starting with the gap from the deck jump ramp into the bank, that was really a statement of like, I plan to use the park really, really well. This is a skate park competition. This is my skate park, and I'm going to skate it like a park. And I think that was the statement that she made. And I think as soon as you start with a trick as good as that, especially one that sort of has that statement of, I'm going to skate this skate park like a skate park. I'm not going to skate the skate park like a vert ramp. I'm not going to skate it like a mini ramp. I'm not going to skate it like anything but the park that it really is. When you come straight out of the gate and just say, hey, I'm going to take this obstacle and I'm going to do something rad on this obstacle that a lot of people aren't skating. It's really a statement that you're going to want to take that run seriously, because that was the best run. That's why I placed first, and that's why Sky was the first place qualifier going into the finals. Okay, so women's finals. In 8th place, we had Heike Ventura from Brazil. So she unfortunately bailed early. It looked like a good run was coming, but early bail really cost her 6.43. Seventh place, Naya Lasso from Spain. She bailed, looking like a good run was coming. The 5-0 fakie was pretty sick. Some solid lip tricks in there. 61.44. Sixth place, we had Arissa True. Didn't make a run, which is not her usual modus operandi, but fairly good run, but obviously you've got to make a run to sort of get right up there. So Arissa, as usual, she had a really nice McTwist in there. The Melon 540 was landed well. I think some of the other events we've seen her land the Melon 540. She normally does the Melon 540 in a more obscure spot to the McTwist, so it's a little bit more difficult, and sometimes she doesn't land that too smoothly, but I think at this event she landed a Melon 540 very well. Big improvement from Arissa was her use of the park. So the back lip slide up the extension is great, as was the line, the front side tail slide, the bridge to the front side 50-50 over the hip to the backside tail slide in the deep. That was really good use of the park, and I think her skating is maturing. Really looking like a strong run with better use of the park than in the past, but of course bailing the switch McTwist in the end, that really cost her. 74.55. So in 5th place we had Hailey Servio from Finland. So well done, Hailey. I think this might be her best placing, or maybe equal best placing at a competition at this level. A really good run. I think Hailey's been taking note of what we've been saying in the judging recaps and applying it to her runs, it's cool. I think her skating has improved greatly over the last few years, and I think it's only going to get better. Linked the park together very well. Starting off with the Melon 540 was good. I will say there's a little bit of deficit in the execution in the flow department in Hailey's run. So the 540 Melon was good, and then went straight into the alley-oop Melon over the volcano. It was a little bit sketchy. She lost some power and speed. Also, strictly speaking, I think straight after a Melon rotation, the judges probably would prefer to see a different grab. I mean, if you're doing 2 backside rotations in a row, which is essentially what an alley backside is, you're probably best not to do the exact same grab, like backside Melon 5, backside Melon alley-oop. But still, nonetheless, was a good run. Frontside nose grind up the extension is a good trick. It wasn't really strong, but still good. I guess at this stage, Hayley's losing a little bit in the execution. The McTwist was good, and so was a fakie 5 line at the end. I think it was a really good run, 85.16. Fourth place, we had Hinano Kasaki from Japan. So Hinano had less tricks than Hayley, but really superior execution and good use of the park. I don't think you can really overstate too much the value of execution and making things look good in skating. I mean, that's been a historical key reason why skaters have stood out in any form, not just competitions, just in any form. Watching skaters, when they make stuff look good, they stand out. And Hinano is someone that makes things look good. Hinano has maximum flow. Her speed is good. It's basically beautiful skateboarding with some gutsy and difficult moves. The 540 is big. It was really good to watch. That's an 84.32. Well done, Hinano. Third place, Kokona Hiraki from Japan with an 89. Again, just going back to the great to watch, beautiful skateboarding, Kokona is pretty much of that same ilk. Great execution, good flow, good trick choice, a really well put together run. Starting out with a backside nose grind over the bridge is absolutely epic, and then backing it straight up with a backside tail slide onto the bank makes it both of those tricks even better, and then backing both of those up with the backside flip. So that's just like a bang, 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 3 great tricks in a row, and each trick makes the last trick better. So you got 3 tricks, and putting them together, that they equal more than the sum of each trick. That they just bonus points for putting them all together like that. Really, really good. Back lip up the extension was also really good. Frontside nose grind to lip slide up the extension. That's a really rad trick. I mean, that's between a lot of other tricks in the run, but I think I went down there and watched practice before the final started. I just saw her doing some of the nose grinds up that, and that's really, it's not an easy place to do a frontside nose grind, like over the hip, up the extension. That's some pretty sick stuff. And then she did it to lip slide as well. So that was impressive. And then also got the kickflip Indian there, going over the spine. Really good use of the park. There's a lot going on the run. There was a lot going on in that run. Consistency very high, a lot in the run. And the execution was great. Flow is good. She ticks a lot of the boxes. She ticks all the boxes that we need in the criteria. An extremely good run. Third place. Well done, Kokona Hiraki. Second place, Sky Brown. Well, like I think at the stage when she did the run, we were thinking perhaps that could be the best run. And I think that thought was in our minds until, quite far into the competition. She's got a great park style, great use of the park, and starting with the transfer that she did was really good. I mentioned this in the previous round video. I think this trick that she started was really a statement. I think that she was really going to skate the park as a skate park, and she was going to push it from the word go. I think as soon as someone drops in and does that first trick, it really makes a statement about what the run is going to be, and that was such a good statement from Sky. Her execution is really, really good. She has really, really good flow. She makes skateboarding look really good. Good variation of tricks. The kickflip India over the volcano, really, really good move. The combination of tricks, the line of the tricks was really good. The alley-oop over the middle hip gap was good. The frontside alley-oop over the hip gap into the deep was also really good. I don't know if we really saw anybody else do that frontside alley-oop into the deep at this event. I could be wrong. I think we've seen people do it in the past. I'm not sure at this event we saw anyone else alley-oop frontside air into it, but great from Sky. And then also ending with a rad trick over the spine, the frontside 360, that was pretty good. All in all, just a great run, great to watch, and I think it was pretty at the stage when she did it, it could have been something that was potentially going to win, unless Mizuho came out and did what she did, and that was absolutely annihilating it. But well done for Sky Brown, because that was a really, really good run. Okay, so first place champion at the Rome World Cup 2026, Mizuho Hasegawa from Japan, 96.33, absolutely shredding. I think the start to Mizuho's run, even the whole thing, could be the best skating that I've seen from a girl ever. That's a pretty big statement, and I would have to do a lot of thinking to make sure that I'm right if I'm going to come out and say that. But if it's not, it's definitely one of the best runs I've ever seen. Basically coming out, rolling into the big judo 540, the backside blunt slide over the bridge, kickflip frontside air into the corner. It's not just a kickflip frontside air on the deep, it's kickflip frontside air into the corner. So basically, it's a difficult trick, but it's also serving a really good purpose. It's basically taking her into a line. So it's like, it's really using an obstacle. It's not just a trick. It's just kind of, you're maximizing that whole thing because it's linking these things together. And the things that it's linking together is a backside blunt slide over the bridge and a kickflip indie over the volcano, which is the next move. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot to take in. These aren't just tricks on flat walls. These are tricks on different obstacles that are getting thrown together in a sequence. Very impressive. So kickflip front center into the corner, kickflip indie over the volcano, got the front side 50-50 on the spine, the backside tail slide over the hip and into the deep by itself is such a rad move. It's not a trick that we're used to seeing girls do a lot, and it was a trick that Mizuho did very, very well, and it was into a 360 varial, which is, again, not a trick we see a lot of girls do. I think, she's put some thought into bringing a trick that is not done by everyone, so 360 varial, that's a good one. And then she comes back, frontside air over the pocket to the bridge, midsection, frontside grind over the hip, lean tail slide over the hip, up the extension, frigid to fakie, and to a half cab melon over the hip. Got some difficulty, use of the park, execution, trick choice, it's all there. She's going so big, very courageous. Judo 540 is insane, very big. There's a lot of room for error and pain if something goes wrong on that trick. She's on concrete. I respect that trick quite a lot. And then straight in the backside blunt slide over the bridge into the kickflip frontside air into the kickflip indie, which is really the combination that really, really, really cemented it for her. And then coming back in the backside tail slide. Mizuho really was laying down the law with that one. I think pushing girls skating to where it hasn't been before. I'm sure she's inspiring a lot of young girls. And I think also what's pretty cool is she did it on her fourth run, the golden run. So it's cool to see someone utilizing the new format and using it to success. We've seen a few other people use it. But I think that is really cool, and it takes it right to the edge when someone makes it on their fourth run. And then changes the results with their final run. I think that's an exciting format, and I think that's pretty cool. But I think that was clearly first place. Well done, Mizuho. That was a really, really good run. Well done. So that was women's finals. Thank you.